everyone, welcome back to this week Weekly Market Update. So, as usual, we shall see what happened on last week, last Friday, what's happening to the economy, what's happening to the earnings seasons, right, which I mentioned on my last weekly uh, video, the kickoff of the bank's earnings season on Friday itself, and then what happened of the coming weeks, things to watch out for. Just for the information for these coming weeks, right, on the US market, it's actually 4 trading days. Monday is a public holiday, it's the King Albertus days. So, there is only short trading weeks on the coming weeks itself. So just be aware if you are holding any positions or you do not hold any existing position, do not open a new positions if unless market is in your favor or you manage to find a good setup, good trade setup. What do I mean by good? Take profit or stop loss, risk reward. All right. So let's take a look at what happened last week. But before that, remember to click like on my video. Remember to follow my Facebook page and also remember to join on my Telegram group as well. So let's start. Last Friday, we can see that Dow actually dropped 200 points on Friday itself as bank stock get hits. So what do he means by bank stock get hits? All right, because as we see that, as we know that last week, right, last Friday, there's an earnings report from certain big banks. All right, so we can see that JP Morgan's actually he hit the forecast revenue on the EPS, earning per shares, but however, the revenue actually missed the forecast. All right, but due to this, right, the market actually gapped down. We will look at the individual shares later lah. All right, I'll just pick one or two shares. However, for Wells Fargo, right, WFC, this is the best performing out of the rest, among the rest on last Friday. Citigroup and JP Morgan actually gapped down on last Friday itself. So this is what happened. But last Friday, right, down actually, to be frank, luckily it pulled back. Otherwise, it actually dropped more than 200 points. I think there is during the day itself, right, it can go as low as 500. All right, and then you just pull back to 200. We'll look into the chart later. So we can see that actually down is like 200 points, and then followed by NASDAQ with a small gains, followed by S&P with a small gain as well. So bank stock which have outperformed in the recent week as interest rate move higher. This is what we're talking about, right? Because right now we know that in a March, Fed is going to hike the interest rate. The probability is up to 80%, which I shared on my last week video. So we know that when interest rate hike, right, is actually good for the bank industry, right? Because they loan money, they go to charge a higher rate, correct? People going to pay them higher rate. So you can see that not just the US bank side, I mean, I'm from local Singapore, right? You can see that our local bank, DBS, UOB, OCBC, all is searching higher. All right, all is searching higher. So the bank industry actually definitely performed well. But the thing is that for the gap down of like JP Morgan actually dropped more than 6%, it's just because they missed their forecast, but doesn't mean that they are not earnings. All right, the earning per share is earnings, but they just missed their profit target only, and it caused the drop down. But a lot of people say that it might be a profit taking because before that they actually surged to the next high, the all-time high. So we shall see next week. For the next week, right? Just take note. Next coming week, just take note. It's a short week, but then on Tuesday itself, right, there will be an announcement from bank sector as well, like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. How does this affect the overspilled milk? Will it affect to the next coming week on these two banking sector as well? Not just only that, if you are holding some other shares like Netflix, we actually have a news they are going to increase their subscription charges, right? On the Canada side, if I'm not wrong, this might actually impact later on, but not on this coming earnings report. All right. Take note if you're holding any shares, just be aware, reduce your positions. All right, if you do not feel comfortable on the market volatility. All right, so there you see the Netflix has actually jumped 1% after announcing the price of the subscriber, right? So this is what I say. All right, next thing on the casino wise, right? It's actually a bright spot on last Friday. Las Vegas is very interesting. We'll look into that counter itself because it's actually at a support level, which I mentioned in my previous video. I just revisit and I realized I have to do some charting on it. So we'll take a look over there. And other than that, it's just a lot of talking. You guys can go Google if you guys are keen. All right. So coming weeks, we know that there's also earning report, but do take note on the following week after next week, right? Will be the kickstart of the tech earnings report. So if let's say you are holding any heavy on the tech sector itself, just be aware because it will be like Microsoft, Tesla, which is the limelight. All right, Boeing, which is doing good previous for the past few seasons, past few week, they have been performing quite well, going at the upside. All right, so Las Vegas, can you see that not? All right, there's a couple of two things, and you're holding Apple. So take note, I mean, this is 2 weeks later. We go week by week basis, but I just want to bet you, uh, if let's say you really wanted to enter those kind of technology, then you might want to wait until the earnings season over. All right, just be safe because the market will actually just flush up and down during the earnings season. I will show you on the JP Morgan chart later. All right, so let's go to the chart itself. We start off with Dow Jones Index. So for Dow Jones Index, right, we can see that this is what I charted previously, right? You guys have been seeing this chart again and again. I just repeat the story again and again, right? It tests all-time high. This is where am I looking? 37,300, 37,500. Apparently, it touches close to 37,000. All right, 37,000, close to there, and then it come down. So this is the bull trap. All right, it used to be resistant, breakout, come down. So this is a very strong resistance. Retest again. This is a day chart, by the way. So it retests again. Okay, see that? Let me just remove for you guys and do some drawing. All right, so you break up, false breakout, come down, retest. Here is your stop loss. Here is good to short. Okay, so this is what we are looking at on the candlestick itself. But of course, if you are looking at comparing to NASDAQ, compared to S&P 500, right? Why Dow Jones actually has a worse performing is because, like I said, there's a 6% drop on the JP Morgan side, on the bank sector side, right? We must know that on the Dow Jones Index is a main component, 30 main component, right? Actually, JP Morgan's is actually one of them. Where is it? And Goldman Sachs is actually one of them. All right, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So that's why during the earnings report, you must take note, if let's say the kickstart usually is more volatile for Dow Jones Index on last Friday itself. That's why it's a drop, but right now it's well supported by the 40 days moving average. So let's take a look what happened on the S&P, right? S&P is very constant, very constant. You can see that it's really well supported by the 40 days moving. This is a 100 days moving average. It's well supported one, twice, three time, fourth time, five times, six times. It's well supported. All right. So the candlestick is not like Dow Jones, as you can see, because it don't have like JP Morgan, that kind of huge drop. So what happened to JP Morgan? Let's take a look. If you are trading before earnings season, this is what you will encounter. Can you see there's a huge gap down itself? So that there's a huge gap down, the 6% drop on last Friday. So assuming that you entered here and then you got burned, this is why Dow Jones Index dropped close in rate compared to another two sector, S&P and NASDAQ itself. All right, not just only that, we can see that Goldman Sachs is also one of them, right? So sorry. Let's take a look at Goldman Sachs. Yeah, this one. Can you see that it's also a gap down itself? Because it's a split over mute, people might think that Goldman Sachs will not be performing well on the coming Tuesday itself. Usually it's running by industry itself, right? But ultimately, I must let you know, increased interest rate hike is good. It's just that they miss the expectation, but doesn't mean they don't earn the money. All right, they might be earning, the revenue might be slower out of the expectation, or they might be at all-time high. People try to take profit due to the economy sentiment is not doing good at the moment. Correct? So this is subjective to individual. All right. Next thing, a couple of shares to share with you guys. Basically, just repeated on what I'm going to do last week. Just a few recap so that you guys know where you stand right now. Last week I mentioned a couple of good chart, correct? Like Hang Seng Index. Just a recap. So Hang Seng Index I mentioned. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. All right, can you see that key support 22,000, well supported 200 MA? Can you see there's a well 200 day MA? This is the money chart. So if mentioned you long right on last Friday, not last Friday, last Monday, which I mentioned right, is a great bullish candlestick. All right, of course, it's the down, it's a down chart on a weekly, but it's an uptrend, correct? Not? So we are actually at the support of the weekly trend, trading uptrend itself, ascending trend. All right, so it's a good support if you dare to enter, and then your stop loss is significantly quite below the 22,000, right? You're still well supported. Your risk reward should be good. You should be targeting at the midpoint first, correct? Not? So this is where you are looking. When you long here, right? You are looking at the midpoint, and your stop loss is somewhere here. So why not? Okay, so you are risking here, but you're making here. All right, so the risk reward is very tempting. If you didn't enter, then too bad. Wait for the pullback. All right, next counter, Tencent. I mentioned, very 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 good counter. If you miss it, too bad. All right, so Means you never follow my video, okay. So this is what I said. Price supported by 200-day moving average in a weekly chart, supported by the 23.6% FIBO. Break below 418, we will see lower. So if let's say we go to the daily chart, all right, if 5 4 3 2 1, if you manage to enter during the open on the Monday itself, right? All right, you manage to in the green side at the moment. Of course, the risk reward is very, very beautiful, right? It's supported by really, like I say. So you are being supported by this area, but your target is 38.2, 50%, and why not? Correct? Why not? And Hang Seng is that has been heavily hammered, all right, over the past few months or past few weeks, and we know that Tencent is the biggest. I mean, the big cap, is like controlling the whole Hang Seng index as well. They are big enough, lah. All right, that's why I like Tencent when I see these well supported by the weekly chart. Okay, let's look at LVS. Just now I mentioned, right? This I didn't talk about last week. So what happened to LVS? I just recap. All right, I said this is well supported. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth one just came out. I didn't manage to go in and see. This is my mistake. So sorry, didn't recommend you guys early in advance. All right, can you see that well supported? Can you see the price? Just see the pattern. Well supported, $33.61. All right, 3rd October, I said that it will target 45. All right, first TP break below 33, step in. This is since 3rd of October, is somewhere here. All right, it come out, it drift, but it never detach low. 33.75, it never break 33. So you're supported by the stop loss, supported, and it go up. All right, right now you're profit. Correct? So this is how we trade using the area of support and resistance level. So LVS is coming on the earnings report. If never entered, then please do not chase in. Chase it. All right, it's gap up on last Friday. It might have some, the gap covering play, right? So it might have actually come down the moving average, and then this is where it go up. All right, so this is what we are looking at. Of course, this kind of leisure sector, right? We are looking at the earnings of. We are looking into the paying attention of the news of the Omicrons of the coronavirus. How does it actually impact the industry, the tourism industry? Correct? This will impact the revenue. Of course, this is coming to report on last quarter. Last quarter includes of November, December, the holiday season, right? So it might actually perform well. That's why it's have a gap up. All right, so this is what we are looking at LVS. Next counter, which I mentioned. Let's see, Okay, TSM first. TSM. All right, I mentioned TSM. All right, I say that TSM is good to monitor. Why? Because it actually break the resistance level. So then resistance, and then it break up. Okay, so Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Monday entered, right now you are here. Congrats. All right, it's a strong breakout trend. Break, come back, retrace, break again. So that, okay, so if you manage to enter, congrats to you. I mentioned it last week. All right, by last week, since last week, 128 to 1413. 140. I think it's a significant percentage of earnings just by 1 week itself. All right, next we move on to certain counter. Okay, don't keep saying that I'm doing a good thing. I also recommend DraftKings. DraftKings, sad to say, it didn't perform that well. All right, it didn't perform that well. Support 24, it hit my stop loss. All right, doesn't mean I am perfectly God. I can see everything. He hit my stop loss. Okay, so if he gets stop out, he gets stop out. All right, it's all about probability. And right now it's falling at below the 23.6%. Where am I looking at if I'm going to DraftKings? I'll be splitting into the Fibonacci of 50% over here. All right, I'm waiting for DraftKings to bounce. Then that's what I'm looking at. Right now it's actually down, followed by a flat. It's actually a mirror image, but this mirror image will go to $0. So that's why I'm looking at this area first. Okay, so this is why I pay attention. $18 or between $18 to $20. That is what I'm looking at for DraftKings. So I'm going to skip this. It hit the stop loss, and that's it. All right, we don't care. Next, we are looking at C company. I say is listed in Singapore, right? The headquarter, the main company is in Singapore, so at least it will not be like those Chinese shares, whacked by the Chinese government. So this is what I say. Last week, it actually break below 200-day. Correct? It break below this. By right, we only got this candle. This is a weekly chart. It break below. So I'm thinking that it actually is like a flag. All right, then it come down. So this is what I'm looking at. Maybe we are looking at 23.6% when it comes to 115 on C. Will that come that? Will it come that low? I don't know, but I know that if you trade, you better put a stop loss because you're chasing the train coming down. Don't be the last fool to enter. All right, next counter I'm going to share with you guys is actually on JD. Just a record, like I said, it's just a recap of what we did last week because I think that everything to stick accordingly. This is on the JD itself. Let's take a look. So on JD itself, positive cash flow, we are actually supported by the 50% Fibonacci. Let's take a look on the weekly chart. Okay, we are supported by the 50% Fibonacci showing a nice candle. That is why I said, because why I recommend you all these Chinese shares is actually dual listing, if you realize. All right, dual listing is very important. Baba, JD, Baidu, this kind of dual listing shares, at least that if let's say they are going to be taken away from the US side, they still got the Hong Kong to maintain their listed company. All right, so this is what I mentioned. If you entered, congrats to you guys. And it's overall like 8% just for 1 week itself. Why not? Correct? Why not? All right, next counter. Let's see what else should I mention. Okay, next counter. I also mentioned SFIX. I think it's a bottom knife. Where I mentioned bottom knife, meaning to say that you are trading against the trend. So this is what I mentioned on SFIS. I say that the company is actually buying their own company shares, and it's good because we are right now at the support level that time. All right, last week. So, but the thing is that the market continue to fall. The market continue to fall. So it hit the stop loss. All right, it hit the stop loss if you put. So if hit, then it hit lah because you're trading on the anti-trend. So make sure you have some strategy. When you're trading anti-trend, you might want to reduce your risk to 50% compared to entire risk. Like maybe I risk 500 per trade. Maybe this time I risk 250 because it's a and counter trend trading patterns. All right, so let me see. I'll just bring another tool so to show you guys as well. So next thing, take note is actually Apple because I think Apple actually stopped one of their eye products lah. All right, I don't know which product you guys can go read about. So for Apple right now, well supported by moving average, there is no any signal clear sign, no any signal. Might be waiting for the earnings report. All right, so this is what we are looking at. Pay close attention. 168 break, then we might be looking at the next level. All right, if you want me to long, I will go in. If you want me to short, I also won't go in. I mean, we just pay attention, right? Because there is news on the Apple. And let's see what else. Maybe we will go into US oil. Oil is very interesting because it go back to the all-time high again. Can you see that? I said previously, I said it might drop. The arrow I dropped previously, I dropped, then it go up. I eventually drop and then it go up. Of course, I cannot be drawing like that. I just draw further lah. I mean, it's drawing. We know that it's somewhere coming down and then we go up. So right now we are forming. We form a double top. But it seems like the market is very strong for oil. All right, it doesn't show any weakened candlestick as well. So you see that when you have some false break and they come down or not. So take note on this area. Okay, so this is on the oil itself. Let me see what else can I share with you guys. Let's see. Okay, I think that's about it. That's about it for this week. Not to drag too long. So hopefully you guys enjoyed on this really market update. Oh yeah, one more. Just recap. Just take a look on the Citigroup. So what on Citigroup? Yeah. So Citigroup basically it gapped down, but it recovered. All right. Unlike JP Morgan. And what happened to GFC, right? I say that this company is doing good. Can you see that Friday? Earnings report, everything is green. It also become very green. Okay, so this is what when you're trading on earning report, just be cautious. All right, if not, just stay away from the market and enjoy your day itself. That's all for me. Have a great weekend, everyone. Goodbye and see you guys next week again.